Hey YouTube, this is Mad Movie Mark, another Mad Movie Mark movie review. Today we're going to go deep inside the vaults to 2006 and review the movie The Queen. This is my first viewing of the movie. I know it's been out for a pretty long time, but I just never got around to watching it. It stars Helen Mirren as the Queen, Michael Sheen as Tony Blair, James Cromwell as Prince Phillip, and Alex Jennings as Prince Charles. Helen Mirren won Best Actress for this movie. James Cromwell is in absolutely every movie ever made, usually as a supporting character. I remember him from LA Confidential and from The Green Mile. You might remember him from Babe. I think he was in Babe. Um, but he's basically in everything. I'm sure if you Google him and you can find a movie that he's in that you've seen. So I haven't seen this movie because I normally steer away from period pieces. I'm not a fan. This movie was streaming on Netflix, and we were kind of thumbing through it with my fiance, and she loves everything about the British monarchy. She loves the movie or the show The Crown. This is just something that she's very interested in, so we decided to watch it. I had heard of it before, of course. I knew Helen Mirren won Best Actress for this movie, and I knew that she had done very good. And sometimes when they win Best Actor or Best Actresses, you don't necessarily think that they deserve it, but she deserved it in this one. And I knew that. I just, like I said, I steered away from it because I'm not a fan of period pieces. But this is a very good movie. So the movie starts with Tony Blair being elected prime minister. The people are kind of over the monarchy at this point. They are looking for a change, and they think that Tony Blair is someone that can create this change, that he's going to challenge the monarchy, that he's going to start making, they're going to start listening to the people, and things are going to get better. I believe, I don't have a lot of background on British royalty. I don't have a lot of background on this subject at all. So everything I'm going to say, I'm taking from the movie and from assumptions and from just living my life. But I believe that Tony Blair was ready to do this. I believe that he was ready to challenge the British monarchy in some capacity. He is someone who understood the legacy of the position. He's someone who understood kind of where the Queen was coming from. And I think that he was ready to try to find a balance between the two. And that is something that the people wanted and the position needed. He wasn't going to go gung-ho at it like they wanted him to, but he was going to try to find balance. And then the tragedy happens where Princess Diana is killed in a car accident while being chased by paparazzi. I was 11 or 12 years old when this happened. I remember watching it on television with my mom, my dad, and my sister. My mom and my dad were clearly, I don't want to say devastated by it, but they were alarmed by it. They were saddened by it. Princess Diana was, and they coined this in the movie, she was the people's princess. Everyone loved her. She was kind of an example of someone who maybe was destroyed a little bit by the monarchy, but rose above it and was able to come out better than she was before. And people looked up to her for that. She was cheated on by Prince Charles. And she was able to get out. I think a lot of people respected the fact that she was able to get out of the monarchy. She was able to get out of that life, which was apparently very difficult at the time. You can't just, it's discouraged to divorce in that setting. You're expected to just look the other way, turn the cheek, move on with your life. Yeah, you were cheated on, but this is what you signed up for, type of thing. And she did not take that laying down. She fought for herself. She got out of the situation. She was making her life better. And not only did the British people look up to her for this, but everyone who's been cheated on, everyone who's had a hard time getting out of this type of situation, everyone who felt that there was no escape. Everyone looked up to her. She was just a symbol of you can improve your situation no matter what the odds are. And I think when she died, a little bit of that inside of everyone died, where it was just totally devastating. This is someone you look up to. This is someone who you model yourself after in some ways. Sorry, this is my cat getting on my desk. You model yourself after her in some ways in what you do, and people were just completely destroyed by the passing of Princess Diana. So that this creates the tension in the movie between the Queen and Prince Philip, who want to kind of bury this news item. Prince Philip doesn't seem to really care at all that Princess Diana has passed away. His only concern is he says his only concern is for Princess Diana's kids, but the only way he shows concern for the children is to take them hunting, because it's what he wants to do. He wants to go hunting, so he feels like, if I take the kids hunting, then this will get their mind off of Princess Diana, but he does it purely for his own reasons, because he's selfish. I've never seen anything about Prince Philip that has led me to believe that he's anything but selfish. So that's just what I'm going to go with. I apologize if anyone takes offense to that, but what little I've seen of him shows me that he is a complete jerk. And this movie does not help him at all in that regard, and I still believe that's the case. Queen Elizabeth is a little bit more of a complicated figure in this movie. She has traditions that she's trying to live up to. She believes that the people are better off mourning and doing it quietly to themselves, not making a big spectacle of it, because that's what she's been taught her whole life, and that's what she tries to do herself. She tries to hold it in. There are points in the movie where you question if she actually is feeling pain, or if she's trying to show that she's feeling pain, because that's what people want her to do. But in the end, I think that she was moved by this. I think that she did mourn Princess Diana. I think that she did miss Princess Diana. I really feel that way. But she didn't know how. She was so. It's like when you work in a company and the higher-ups they have no idea what's going on in their company, because they never see any of their workers, and they're just so detached from what's going on at their company. Queen Elizabeth is kind of completely detached from what's going on in her country, even though she sees it on TV. She believes that this is just the media overblowing things, and that her people aren't really as sad and as sad as the media is portraying them, even though there's literally a million flowers in front of the palace. I was struck by how many flowers and how much sadness was going on in this movie. But this is really, people's lives were torn apart when Princess Diana died, and the Queen is unable to see that, and so for a long time, I think it's like a week, she goes without making a statement, without saying anything, without addressing her people, and then Prince Philip is in her ear saying that they'll get over it, don't worry about them, who cares about the people, just let's go hunting, basically. But you see the struggle with Queen Elizabeth. I think that this is one of the... I think in the movie, you're asked to not like her because of the way that she acts. But I do think there's a push and pull with her, that she just really doesn't know how to act. She doesn't know how she's supposed to show her feelings. And she's so worried about how the papers are going to talk about her. She's worried about how everyone's going to view her. She's all about her image, but when her image is being destroyed, she just pushes it off as though they don't know what they're talking about. So she's a very complicated character in this movie. I don't really know if there's an arc with her. I think towards the end she realizes that when she eventually does make a speech, she does address the people. Tony Blair is a big catalyst for her. He understands what's going on. It would seem he understands that there's this divide in the people. This is why he was elected, because there's such a divide between the people and the monarchy, that she has to do something, and he pushes her to do something. You have to give a speech, you have to go to the people, you have to show them that you care. He's constantly pushing her, and then you get this sense through halfway through the movie that he doesn't agree with what she's doing, that he doesn't like what she's doing. And then at some point, he completely kind of turns a little bit and sympathizes with the queen. He says, well, this is all she knows. She's been queen since she was a very young girl. She didn't really have a chance to grow up. She didn't have a chance to socialize with people. Maybe she's not good with people because she didn't really socialize with anyone. This is all she's known. She's all about tradition. All she knows is tradition. So we have to kind of work with her in a different way than you would work with a normal person who has able to show their feelings in what is considered a normal way. So he pushes her and he gives her that push that she needs. This is why he was elected prime minister, to kind of give her the push that she needs to do what she needs to do. She finally listens to him. She realizes that he's right. She gives a speech, and then at the end of the movie, I think she kind of realizes that what she did was correct, that the country is changing, that she needs to change with the country. That's kind of how it ends. I'm led to believe at the end that the people take more warmly to her after this, because she gave the speech, because it was a genuine speech, because they felt like she didn't care. Like I said, this is a really good movie. I think Helen Mirren does a really good job at playing a character who is torn between country, between feelings, tradition. I think she does a very good job. James Cromwell plays a very good jerky Prince Phillip, with basically no redeeming qualities at all. They don't go into a lot of backstory on Prince Philip in perfect James Cromwell fashion. He's not really given much of a backstory. He's just kind of the man behind Queen Elizabeth, who whispers in her ear and tells her to do all the wrong things, basically because she understands the push and pull. She understands, I think, what's going on better than he does, because frankly he just doesn't care. She is a lot about herself, but definitely less than her husband is all about himself. Prince Charles in this movie, I was actually very taken aback by Prince Charles in this movie, because Prince Charles sticks up for Diana throughout this entire movie. He also sides with Tony Blair throughout the whole movie, that things are changing and that they need to change, and that something needs to be done about Princess Diana. We need to go out there, we need to talk to the people, we need to make a speech, we need to show them that we care. Prince Charles shows a lot of caring for Princess Diana. He's definitely devastated by her death. I did not know this about Prince Charles when this happened. I figured that they had cut ties and that he didn't care about her in any way, but apparently, at least according to this movie, I was wrong. I thought the character who played Prince Charles did a very good job. All the acting performances are very good. I don't know who was nominated against Helen Mirren in 2006, but she did a very solid job, and the Oscars usually love a good period piece, so not surprised that she won for this. Overall, I would give this movie 8, I would say, out of 10. It wasn't as captivating throughout the entire movie. It's not an incredibly long movie, but there are scenes that drag a little bit. There's a scene where Queen Elizabeth goes out in her car and she kind of gets stuck in a river, which I don't necessarily believe that they would allow the queen ever to leave her palace in a car by herself. She's watched around the clock, 24 hours a day, and somehow she was able to get her car stuck in the river, which I understand why they did it. They set up a scene to where this kind of shows her her armor coming off a little bit. This kind of shows that she cares about other lives besides herself. This is a scene that shows compassion, and this is a scene that also shows kind of how different she is with her husband on certain things. But the setup of the scene to me was not believable. I don't believe that it would ever happen. Maybe they could have done this in some other way. I don't personally believe that this ever happened, and if it did happen, she had someone with her at the time. She wasn't just stranded out in the middle of nowhere. And then I did kind of get a little tired. I mean, I love James Cromwell. I got tired of his, he's one-dimensional throughout this whole movie. I'm not a fan of hunting, and he goes hunting all the time. He takes his kids hunting. I realize this is probably something he did in real life, but I'm just not, I'm not a fan of it. And to be perfectly honest, I can see why Diana's kids grew up hating the monarchy. If this is actually what happened, they didn't have time to mourn. They were dragged to hunting. I mean, it's just, I personally don't understand their line of thinking, but like I said, this is tradition. This is something that's always happened. They don't get out into the public that often. They basically just intermingle with each other all day. This is why you need to get out and make friends and talk to people, or you will end up like this. So I give it an 8. Solid movie all around. Helen Mirren probably deserved Best Actress. It's a period piece that I actually enjoyed, and that's saying something. And I think next, all I have right now is Eternal Sunshine, so that is what I'm going to try to do next. Thank you guys, and have a great day.